humans. It feels like we spend a lot of time and energy preparing ourselves for the difficulties that we might face, for the challenges we might face with our health or our finances, for our families, even our country. But what do we do when things go right? We're seldom prepared for when things are good. That's the conversation we're having today. I think it's one that you'll find interesting, and we're excited to have it with you. So let's get started.
This is a production of Pioneer Dream, celebrating 30 years of moving stories for corporate, nonprofit, and entertainment partners. Please help us keep the conversation going by rating, liking, and subscribing to this podcast. Thank you. Also, make sure to check out our other podcast, Mixed Up Mystics, featuring refreshingly honest conversations about Christianity, and Got a Minute mini podcast, presenting funny stories and independent music, all in about 15 minutes. Now, here's Jay and Anjanette Webster.
Fellow humans, what is up? Welcome back to the Hope for Humans podcast. Hello, Anjanette.
Hello, humans, and you. You are also a human.
As far as I know,
I
yes.
didn't mean to put you into an alien category right away.
Yeah,
but...
I just identify as being. I'm just here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Aren't you having a Zen day?
Well, yeah, kind of. I guess so. Yeah. Today's episode is entitled, What If It's Good? What?
Oh.
Yeah. How provocative is that? Did I throw you for a loop?
Yeah, because I mean, normally when you start saying that, I'm thinking like, what if it's bad?
Yeah.
But
what
you
if
just
it's good?
did a little switcheroo there.
I did. Speaking of switcheroos, before we get into everything,
yes,
let me give you these two quick announcements because these are needed information statements.
Okay.
We have a DreamersLIVE event coming up on March 13th. Where is that DreamersLIVE event?
That is our St. Patrick's weekend warm-up DreamersLIVE event.
Woot, woot.
One of my favorites. I love the minor holidays. And that will be here at the Pioneer Dream Studios.
Our lair in the center of the known universe.
Yes, it's going to be a super fun time, and there will be lots of green. We will have Irish beer, but not green beer.
That's right.
Because that's shameful, according to you, right?
It is. It's sacrilege.
Yes, but I will be making my famous green
St. Patrick will
sippers.
be turning over in his grave?
Mausoleum?
I don't know where he's buried.
I don't know either, but the shamrock
he may
sippers...
have ascended. I have no idea.
You're terrible. The shamrock sippers will be green, and they will be super festive. It's a fun time. We just get our Irish on and celebrate, and it's a good time to meet people and celebrate spring.
It's 5 to 7 p.m. at the Pioneer Dream Loft in the downtown Bartlesville, Oklahoma. And if you're in this regional area, please come hang out with us. Otherwise, your friends will be green with envy.
Oh, that was good.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Speaking of the Ville, I got to tell you something that happened to me.
Okay.
So I've got one of those multifaceted days.
Yes, you do.
I'm subbing a half day at Central Middle School, which is our daughter's school.
You are actually at school right now. We just don't know it. You're on your planning break or something,
I'm
aren't
actually
you?
on the planning period. Filling in for my sister, awesome Central Broadcasting teacher, Ashley.
Shout out to Ashley.
Yeah, who's hosting an assembly, a music assembly, oddly enough, elsewhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, I saw a kid walk through the hall today, and lo and behold, what was he wearing? A Be the Ville t-shirt.
What?
Back from when we first made them.
Oh my
It
gosh.
said Be the Ville, and then on the back it says Love It or Leave It. Do you remember that shirt?
Yeah, I do.
And I wanted to scare the kid and be like, where'd you get that shirt? I mean, it's been around a while, so I'm sure someone gave it to him. Probably used to be his mom or dad's or whatever, but made me laugh. So anyway, yes, we'll be in downtown The Ville.
Right. Okay. So mark your calendars, March 13th. Also, you can go to thedreamerscoalition.com, and if you punch the live button, it will give you the calendar for all the live events for 2026, and so you can mark your calendars and live accordingly.
Yeah,
just plan your vacations around the times that we have.
Really, all of your life, your
plan
events,
births and deaths and baptisms and all that
do
stuff.
what you can do to come and join us.
It's pretty easy because it's a Friday night, so that's a good thing.
It is.
Also, we have the Dreamery, which is our newsletter for all things Dreamer, including the podcast stuff that we do, stuff we do in the schools, stuff we do with DreamersLIVE events. There's bonus articles and writing and stuff on there. There's free music on there and all kinds of stuff. And it's just the easiest and best way to kind of be in the know and even know about all the podcasts and what we're doing with that. So
I like it.
If you will message us your email address or go to the Dreamers Coalition, there's a contact button there. You can send it that way if you want to be quiet about it. And just send us your email address and we will add you to the mailing list. Several people did this after we announced it last time.
Yeah.
It's been super cool. So
it has been.
The presence of the newsletter is growing. So that's the Dreamery. It's our newsletter. You'll love it. It's lots of bonus footage and information and stuff, and including free music. So dig it.
I'm going to sign up right now.
Yeah.
Love it.
Speaking of all things dreamers and this podcast, Hope for Humans, I was thinking about your dad is fond of saying that there's three kinds of people in the world. There are people who have just come through really difficult times.
Yes.
There are people who are going through difficult times. And there are people who are about to go through difficult times. That, in other words, as you and I would say, suck happens.
Suck happens.
At some point in time, and it's inescapable. Everybody goes through suck sometimes.
Yeah,
and
that's so true.
That's just a part of being on this planet. So whatever financial bracket you happen to fall into, whatever gender you happen to fall into, whatever socioeconomic
bracket
thing or what region you live in, suck happens.
Yeah.
And but that also tells me or says to me that, also seasons change. So,
Definitely.
If you were in suck for a while, there's often a time where you come out of that. You come into a different season.
Yes.
And so as everybody knows, we start our new year usually with a series of meetings, and we talk about every element of our lives, what's working, what's not working from
It's
last year.
exhausting. We used to put a lot of pressure on the meetings. I mean, like when we were younger, what are we going to achieve?
Do you remember this other thing we used to do?
What? Yeah, no, I do. I'm drinking this.
We used to give every year a theme song.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And it was a theme song that was like, this is the aspiration. This is what we're living up to. So like one year it was Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, like most often they were 70s songs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But they were things like, this is the year we're going to take it to the streets. This is the year that it's Mr. Blue Skies. It's going to be really all that kind of stuff. And
we were so annoying. I mean, really.
Well,
optimistic.
no one really knew about it except us.
Yeah, it wasn't like we made T-shirts about it or anything. But yeah, no, it was good. But we would have these meetings.
It's almost like is it China that does the year of the rabbit or rat or horse? I think this year is it the year of the horse?
No, I think
a fire horse or something.
I think last year was the year of the chicken.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, but it was kind of like that. But we would kind of look at take stock and evaluate every area of our life, which is not a bad thing to do.
Right.
And we still do it now, but there's a whole lot of, it's more chill, would you say?
And it has been in the past kind of drudgery because you're like, I don't know. I don't have any inspiration for it. I don't know what to do. This feels like just, even though it's a new year, we're kind of just repeating what we did, last year. And it was difficult.
Yeah.
And when you don't have inspiration, those meetings can be arduous.
Yeah, definitely.
At best. But for whatever reason, with this year, as we've gone through meetings, and we look at things like what we're doing with our company or what we're doing with Dreamers or what we're doing in the podcast or even our family and all that kind of stuff, there's been a lot of inspiration. There's been a lot of hope. And
yes, it's encouraging.
At the same time, there's been this weird couple of weeks where things that we have been doing for maybe a couple of years, even with the best of intentions, now feels very done. This is no longer a thing for us.
Like the season's changing.
Yeah. So you do a project and that project is going on year after year and it's been good and it was good in the past and you know that there's good things have happened to it. But then you show up one day and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
It doesn't, it doesn't feel the same.
I don't like this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And it doesn't have the same shine to it. There's not a lot of inspiration to it. You and I are committed even when we start into something to finish strong. So it's not like you just wave the white flag and say quit.
Well, you can't say, I don't want to be here anymore. So we're going to quit this client right now
all
or
that stuff.
Quit this project.
But to me, it kind of goes along with this season we're in. So one thing, you're having this inspiration for new stuff or even just new energy for this new stuff that you're doing. And then there's this withdrawal of energy from things that it's time to kind of let go.
Yes.
And it kind of fades out. And you're like, okay,
and I think
that's interesting.
That's tougher for some people than others.
Right.
Especially, it's difficult for me when I've really invested a lot into something. Because we work really hard and I will put my heart and soul into something. Yes. And then I just think, man, I feel like we just got this set, but then it switches again.
It's a lot of factors. There's the factor of what you've invested in emotionally. There's there's the factor of, in our case, a lot of what we do involves other people, and it's trying to help other people in some way or another. So you think, okay, if I don't do this, am I letting those people down?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
It gets
Are we
mixed
losing
in.
that thing? On and on.
Are we staying true to the cause?
But as we've talked about so many times, when you commit to doing something, you have to ask yourself, why am I committing to this? What's the purpose, the value here? Is it, and so we know if you're supposed to get out of something, or if you're doing something for yourself under the guise of doing it for somebody else, but it's really about us, So I said a lot to say that then I look around and there's just a lot of good things that are happening for us, and a lot of things that were once really, really difficult that are now much easier.
That's true.
And there's some hope and there's some inspiration. And I think to myself, it's interesting because as a culture, we're kind of built on helping people prepare for difficult seasons, hard seasons, when things are really challenging, when it's difficult to keep the plate spinning, when it's difficult to deal with hard emotions or anxiety and all that stuff. And so we spend an awful lot of energy with that.
Yeah.
What we don't really equip people for or recognize is, what do you do when things are good? What do you do when things are right? How do you recognize, oh, this is actually a pretty positive season.
Yeah.
And I'm not used to dealing with this. And it can actually bring its own anxiety when things are going right.
Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes it's difficult for people, and I would probably fall in this category, because at all times, some people are going through difficult things, that when you have a season that's lighter and more positive, sometimes it's hard to settle in and embrace that because people around you are going through their latest time of suck.
Yeah.
And so that's tough for me. And then also there's some sort of a guilt, like a false guilt that can come in to say, well, you don't really deserve all these good things that are happening to you.
And it is. It's a bit of a schizophrenic existence in the sense that we have this micro life that we live, which is, our individual, our personal relationships, sometimes our small family, and it might even branch out into our small community.
Okay.
And so that's one life that we are living. And then there's this macro existence that we have, which is being a part of the greater universe. So your citizenship in your country or your state, but certainly in your country, and also just being a human on the planet. And so you can have this weird thing where in your micro life, things are either really good or really difficult. Yeah. And then in the macro world, all these other things are happening. And so it can be hard to justify in our minds or not feel guilty in our hearts and minds when things are personally going well for us and the world is on fire out there.
That's so true. The world's going to hell in a handbasket, but hey, it's going pretty good for me.
But that's sucks to be you. No.
Yeah, it's so true. And and I think that's the guilt that can come in.
Yes.
But the thing is, and we've been talking about this a lot because we're currently in sort of a peaceful season, I guess. Yeah. If you don't let yourself enjoy the times that are good, and peaceful and restful, then you're really not ready the next time the tough time comes your way. You're not taking I feel like those things ebb and flow. So there's an energy that happens when things are inspired, or when things are good, or when things are peaceful or beneficial or working. And that does renew us to an extent. Yeah. And so when those times are going well, I think we need to settle into it and say, this is good. And then we've taken some good in, almost like a bank. We had deposits of the good. And when the tough stuff comes, we're able to remember, hey, but that last season was pretty joyful, and that'll be back again,
So what do you think helps in that season? So what if it's good? What if this is a good season? What steps should we take in that moment? I think maybe that first thing you said is key to it, which is acknowledging, this, for whatever reason, and I want to say something in here too, because I think it's important.
Well, hey, you know what? It's your podcast.
It's your podcast. You can cry if you want to.
I'd like to make another comment.
I was reading something the other day, and I think it's a really interesting thing. It was this guy, Richard Rohr, who's kind of this mystic and all that stuff. But he was talking about this kind of, especially in the Western world, this kind of curse of dualistic thinking. Oh. Dualistic thinking says it's one or the other. Which, if there's anything that describes where we are as a country right now, it's that. So it's either Republican or Democrat. Yes. It's either right or wrong. It's either good or bad. And it's not a thing of saying, oh, okay, well, it's all these things. And so in any given season of our lives, it's rarely one or the other. It's rarely 100%. So to say that, what if it's going good? What if this is a, quote, good season? That's not to suggest that everything is good and everything is easy and breezy and all that kind of stuff. But it's to say that that's the overarching theme or color or wash or motif in a moment, this is a good season. And a lot of what was difficult in the last season seems like it's let up a little bit. And some of the things that maybe we worked for now are coming, they're kind of, what we would call,
bearing
fruit or
yeah.
breaking through the ground. So you've worked really hard and toiled for this, and now you're starting to see return on that.
And if we don't, when the crop comes, if we don't acknowledge it and say, oh, cool, there's some apples, and we just go keep working, keep driving, keep plugging.
Are there things that, so aside from saying, acknowledging, looking and saying, oh, yeah, I'm looking at this. This feels like a good season. This feels hopeful. This feels like, it's not nearly as difficult as it was.
Right.
Resistant or dull as it was. How do you think what would you suggest, or how would you think to take advantage of that, or to make the most of that season, or to acknowledge that in some way?
In some way. I think what you just said, which really is acknowledging and accepting that, and then kind of settling into it.
Yeah.
And, and I don't know if that looks like telling friends or like, hey, I'm actually in a pretty good place right now when you go out to coffee, or, celebrating those things.
What came to mind when you said that, which I think is so true, but I think it's also, it's kind of acknowledging it, but then it's also kind of adjusting your thinking. So I think in difficult seasons, we're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. In difficult seasons, we're always waiting for the next difficult thing, or the next piece of bad news, or the next troublesome thing.
Yeah.
But in good seasons, or in lighter seasons, then I think we can kind of take a break from that.
Yeah.
We can start looking for the good things that are happening, and certainly saying those out loud and acknowledging that. But we can also adjust against the negative thinking, against the negative anticipation.
Yeah, I think so. I think one thing that we can do, once we recognize that on our own, and maybe tell people in our circle, you don't want to be like, hey, things are going pretty great for me, guys. Sorry, it sucks for you, but I don't mean like that. But, if you're
also having the best time ever.
Pretty great. Love it. No, but we can, acknowledge that with friends when it comes up. But then I think perhaps.
That's an interesting statement unto itself.
What was that?
Well,
I said something interesting.
Saying something without being, quote, braggadocious or something like that. But
saying it out loud.
But there is a part of that that's contagious.
Yeah.
There is a part of that that's encouraging for other people in that moment. So saying, gosh, it just feels like things are a little bit lighter right now. Things are a little bit more hopeful right now.
Have you ever seen someone, I like this, it's kind of an old type slang phrase, which I like, but it's like, hey, what's good?
Yeah,
I love that
love
instead of like, how you doing?
Right.
Because that can be like,
Yeah,
but hey, tell me something good. Hey, what's good? You're like, oh, well, the sun's shining today, and that's great. I like that. But I think maybe
what's that other phrase? It's like the hop on the good foot. Is that
hop
a
on
thing?
the good foot?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is that?
That might mean something completely. It's probably the 70s. This thing.
Are you making that up?
I might need to look it up before.
Hop on the good foot.
Hop
I
on the
love
good
it.
foot.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody's Googling it right now.
Yeah.
When you're listening and
if
driving,
it's terrible, don't
get off your phone. Pull over and Google what hop on the good foot means.
If it's bad, I didn't know.
That's right. But I think when times are going okay for us, or they're good and better, it can also be a chance where we have some extra emotional energy, so that we can look for the people in our lives where things aren't going good.
Yeah.
And help them a little bit more, whatever that is, or cheer them up. When your spirits are up and you're feeling encouraged and okay about life, it's more natural to be able to help others and say, hey, you go to coffee with a friend and things are really down, and you have more energy. Yeah. I know that there have been times where I've got friends that want to go to coffee or whatever. I'm like, listen, I got nothing for you. You do not want to be with us right now.
Yeah. And that's also, okay to admit that. And it's okay to take action.
And that's also when you often need to make yourself go be with people, because we know that. But there's more positive energy there to do things that can maybe help other people and bring some joy to them.
Yeah.
I know that helps me. Now, here's this. Now, for my other people who struggle with guilt.
Yeah.
I can, when times are good, full disclosure, this podcast sucks because I have to be so honest.
I'm just being transparent here.
I'm just being, what is it with words and we beat them and everyone hates them? But that word, yeah. Often for me, if I'm in a good season, I can feel guilty about it.
Yeah,
this is all like things I have to admit
to myself.
you're
not Catholic?
I know, for reals. But anyway, my papa really struggled with guilt. My dad said, so we joke about it. He's like, oh, you have the papa gift. He was so sweet. Right. But I can also then tend to do too much for people, or because I feel like things are going well.
You want the way to bring
I'm like,
people
listen,
along.
I need to give more money. I need to go out and volunteer more and save the world because things are going pretty good for me. And what that is, I think sometimes the thing, like you said, it's not black or white.
Right.
It's not that I'm only motivated out of guilt. Often they're intermingled. They can be positive motivation to help people, but it can also be fueled somewhat by guilt.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm going to kick into some, who else can I help? What else do I need to do?
Guilty for good stuff,
I
too.
feel guilty that things are going well, so I'm going to hop out.
Right.
And I have done some things like that before, and they've ended up, because it didn't really have shine, it wasn't really motivated. It was a mixed motivation.
Yeah.
Comes back to bite you eventually.
Well, it's always, as we say, it's not the what, it's the why.
Yeah.
It's not what you're doing or what you're volunteering for or how.
Yeah.
It's just why are you doing those things?
Yes. And for me, part of settling into a good season or an easier season is not saying, I hate it when people say, oh, well, you deserve that. I think, no, I don't, man. I'm a crap. I mean, I'm not, I don't deserve it.
There are lots of people who deserve more than,
Than what, right.
Who are struggling harder.
What I can try and settle into is, well, I don't know if I deserve it, but I'm grateful for this easier time. And it's good, won't always be like this, but I'm thankful for that, and try to settle in that way, and also not guilt myself into creating some other projects to help other people out of guilt.
Yeah. Well, and I do like it that, if somebody else is going through a difficult time or a hard time, the fact that we might be going through a better time does remind people, oh, this season's going to change. Hey, there's hope for this. And, that's the thing we, talked about a couple of episodes ago, but a reason to hope, that the thing about hope is that, oh, it might get better. Oh, it might change. And hope is often this act of defiance in difficult times. And so acknowledging when hope is fulfilled, acknowledging when things go good is the thing that kind of reinvigorates hope for the future. You might have to call on that later. Like you said, these are like deposits in the account. I might have to call on this later. I might have to call in these good times when things get hard.
Some of the reserves.
Yeah, and say,
for sure.
But that's what hope is.
It is.
So when it happens, when hope is fulfilled and things go good, then we should acknowledge that, celebrate that, live in that moment, and really take advantage of that.
I think so too. And we talk a lot on the Hope for Humans podcast about the importance of living in community.
Yes.
And that's one of the best parts of it is that for the most part, not everybody's going through a tough time at the same time.
Yes.
And there are going to be other people in your community when you're down that are feeling more energetic and hopeful, and they have more reserves to share with you. I mean, that's it. If we were all going through the same horrible time at once, we wouldn't have anything to offer one another.
Yes.
But so I think that's one response, even for the guilt-ridden person like myself, is I can be grateful for the good time and without putting pressure on myself, be on the lookout for other things that I can do to encourage other people and be that positive community for them.
I was thinking about, if I try and look at it, I can start to see all of these little areas where this good is happening. So, in this relationship or in this financial circumstance or in this part of my life or whatever. And so it is kind of interesting to be able to make that little list and start saying, it's a gratitude list, but it's under a different name. But it's just
Does it make you feel better to put it under a different name?
Yes. I don't. I'm allergic to the overuse of phrases.
I know, that's right. It'd be like a good times book or like a what's good
It'd be on
book.
the Hop on the Good Foot book. And
I really want to stop this conversation right now and look up Hop on a Good Foot.
We'll have to go back in and edit stuff and just drop that word. Hop on it. And then it'll just be muted.
I know you made that up. Okay, go ahead.
No, but the idea that, if your health is by and large better. Yeah. If your financial situation is, even if it's not better, but it's less stressed or it's less anxious. I remember when we were going through the pandemic, the COVID thing, and everything kind of shut down, which was, obviously very difficult for us. And there was a little bit of money that came through the government. We had a little bit of savings over here, and we had some other money. And so even though we weren't working at the level that we had been working before, somehow in the simplicity of stuff and the everything stopping setup, it got easier.
Yeah,
so
our finances were okay.
It was less income, but also less outcome.
Yeah.
And outgoing, I guess you should say.
Right.
And in the quietness of that, it was just simply easier.
Yeah.
So Was it better? Well, I guess in a way, because it required less stress. We weren't chasing clients to get paid, and we weren't wondering where the next thing was going to come from, and this, that, and the other. And a lot of people did not have that experience through the COVID. But I'm just saying that in that moment, it was simpler. And so even if your financial situation hasn't drastically increased, you're not getting paid more or whatever, but if it starts to feel like, well, this is just easier
just
now,
a little easier,
then we acknowledge that if your health and if something's going on with your family stuff and it's a peaceful time and there's, for a moment, there's less drama. Yeah. That's acknowledgement.
Yeah. I think I've been trying to do this thing, or not trying, I guess I've just been more aware of it. For those of us who have trouble living in the present, and I think that's tough for most people. I think sometimes for women, especially if you've got a family at all, you're always thinking about the next thing. Part of what you do is anticipating what's next and making sure everybody has their stuff for it. And then I also do that at work. So I've admitted before that it can be difficult for me to be in this day because I'm thinking about what we need for tomorrow and then 2 weeks from now. Yeah. But I've had some moments where I will be at an event or even something sometimes that maybe we're putting on or coordinating. And after I have, things are kind of settled and we're into it, I will have a moment where I look around and I think, my parents are relatively healthy. Our daughter is here and she lives with us right now. And, that's touch and go day by day. Your 14-year-old
Which part of this are we on?
But I'm like, Jay and I still like each other for the most part. And my health is okay. And I will sort of, I guess, take stock in that moment and take a few breaths and be present in acknowledging that. And I think that is something that when we have, a good time or a season that's better to just take that in. Yes. And stop striving so much. Right. And just say things are pretty good right now.
Embrace the ease. Yes. Embrace the, grace. Embrace being able to breathe a little bit.
Okay, you got to tell this story, which is pretty funny, if you don't mind. Well, now I've said it in front of everyone, so you have to do it. Right. But we had gone to this, we have a good friend of ours that does sort of yoga and breathing workshops, I guess. Yeah. And so a lot of people would know her. But you came to part of one because she really wanted you to experience it. I was doing like a half-day thing. Yes. And we did a sound bath. Some of you guys are like eye-rolling right now. But I mean, we are too. But it's basically... it's a time where you're with other people, you do some breathing to relax your body, and then different sounds like musical instruments are played to sort of, But anyway, I was laughing because you were like, okay, when before we went, you're like, what? Well, this friend asked you to come and you're like, seriously, a sound bath? I mean, like, it was a body
I don't have a background for that. I don't think either of us really do, but I don't have a background for that. And certainly growing up in the bedazzled belt buckle of the Bible Belt, as we once did, things like that would have seen, quote, Eastern or other. Or like there would have been all kinds of red flags for fundamentalists. It was just... And then you kind of grow out of that and you think, oh, no, this is
some good stuff in this.
It's certainly what you're looking for. That's the thing you find. Yeah. And also, I think when I showed up, I do trust Lisa, our friend. And so shout out to Lisa again. But, in my younger life, I would have walked into that thinking, I'm going to try so hard. I'm going to listen so hard. I'm going to be relaxed and I'm going to have the vision. I'm going to have the whole thing.
Well, and it was a January thing where it was like trying to reset for the new year. So we would have been like, let's reset. I'm
going to reset so hard.
I'm so resetting. I'm so relaxed.
I'm so relaxed. And so I just did like pretty much the opposite of that. I walked in, I didn't have any expectations. I thought, you're going to lay down on a yoga mat. Right. Someone's going to play these bowls and instruments and things over here, and there's a gong or something like that. And they're going to do all this stuff. And I might just rest. This is going to be great.
It's like a 20-minute nap.
If anything, it's just going to be relaxing. Exactly. So I laid down. I have, over the last couple of years taken up meditation, so that's helped me kind of be more chill. So I wasn't anticipating any big deal. We did a bunch of breathing exercises ahead of time. Yeah. And I thought, I'll just lay here and do these breathing exercises because they're just calming. It's really nice for your mind and body. And I laid down there and they started playing these, it's the thing where they have, I don't know, I wouldn't have any of the names, but they're, various bowl sizes. Yeah. And they have a thing, it looks like a pedestal thing where you almost you grind up stuff.
And it's not so much music as it is like different tones,
like they're supposed to awaken or, I don't know. Yeah. So it's not, it's certainly not written. There's no melody to it. There's no anything to it.
No.
And
it was just kind of there.
And so they're doing this thing, and so I close my eyes and I do the breathing, and I'm not anticipating anything, and then it just becomes like a series of colors, and it's not completely accurate, but the best way I could describe it is like everything went kind of purple, and it was almost like a kaleidoscope kind of thing, or almost like a thing spinning.
Was that when the rain stick hit?
No, that was before the rain stick.
I like it when the rain stick comes on. I'm like, ooh, I like the rain stick.
And if it doesn't make you need to go to the bathroom, it's pretty nice. And so anyway, this all goes to purple. And I'm thinking, okay, wow, this is interesting. And it's very peaceful. And then it kind of goes to almost like a reddish color.
That's cool.
Then my mind's voice involuntarily says, take it. Just take it.
Take it. And
I don't know, I'm thinking, what does that even mean? Why am I saying take it?
Yeah.
And then, as has become my custom lately, when I feel shine, or when I feel that peace come over me, or I feel that rush of presence or whatever in that moment, I have a certain level of confidence where I just simply say, I don't fully understand this in this moment, but yes.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening here, I know that it's good.
Yeah.
I don't fully understand it, but I'm just saying yes.
Yeah.
So my voice and my heart and mind involuntarily said, take it. I believe that was a good thing. I believe there was something in me that was triggered by that on whatever level inside of me that said, I want to release whatever this is. I want to let it go of whatever this is, take it. Yeah. And then to the best of my ability and hope, I just said yes. And then everything kind of went to a wash of like lavender, and I just felt a tremendous sense of relief. And
that's so cool.
And it just stayed with me for a couple of hours. It's like almost walking in a certain low level of intoxication. It's the best I could describe it.
And better for you.
So it's in your head, but it's also in your body.
Yeah.
And you just feel this tremendous sense of calm. You don't want to do anything that would brush up against anxiety or cause you to lose that experience or that moment, or rush away from something. Yeah. And it's very tranquil and cool. And it stays with you for a little bit.
You told the full version of that story. That was pretty cool.
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure. No. I want to. It was very interesting. I'm pretty sure. Like, I did not have that kind of experience that time. I had a nice experience. I think I fell asleep. But hey, that was
That's
great.
Great too. Yeah.
But it was so cool to hear you talk about that. But when you said, you heard your voice say, "Take it."
Yes.
I think that's what we need to do when times are good.
Yeah. Right.
When times are more peaceful and easier, is take it.
Yeah.
Just let it be. It's a season.
Have you ever been in an experience where someone has seen you? I mean that in an emotional, spiritual sense. They see you and then they say, I just want you to know X, Y, or Z. So like I know these compliments for us are kind of rare. It doesn't happen very often. But when someone's heard a song.
Now accepting compliments, listeners. We'll take some.
No, but when someone has heard a song that's really spoken to them, or been touched by a gift that you brought, or they know you,
they read something you've written.
They see you and they say, I just want you to know how that touched me. I just want you to know what that means to me. I just want you to know what you mean to me. And our natural human inclination is to back away, is to put up the deflector shields.
No.
And to justify it or get out of it or whatever. And then someone will say, look, just receive this. Just receive what I'm saying.
They say, take it.
And I don't know why. Of course, there's a vulnerability to receiving good things or even compliments, and it is unsettling at some level. But in a way, like what you're saying, it is about receiving it. Good things are happening. Goodness is happening. And I don't understand it when the rest of the world is on fire. I don't understand it when other people might be having a challenge. But in this moment, good stuff is happening. So take it. Receive it. And let the other things that would cause you to either justify this or feel guilty for this or do penance for the good thing that's happening, all that stuff. Yeah. Let that thing go, and just in this moment, take the good, say yes to it. We don't know how long it'll last. It's not the curse of forever goodness for us, which the human mind apparently has trouble with. It won't all be good. There'll be plenty of struggles for us on a daily basis. But in this moment, take it.
Yeah.
This is a good thing. These are good things. This is a good season, and just drink that thing in.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's okay to say, I don't know that we deserve the good when it comes, but like if I were talking to you and something good happened, I would say you're worthy of that. I mean, like that's a word that we hear a lot of, but you're worth that good happening to you. There's no reason to feel good or to shirk back from it, but take it, and it's not so much, I think sometimes when people say you deserve it, they don't mean like you've earned it. You're so awesome.
Right.
It's just sort of like, it's neat to see this good shining on you right now.
Well, and it is interesting. That's such a great awareness that, there is a joy that happens in us when someone we care about deeply has something good that happens from them. So they get a job promotion, or they get
it's almost
a
like
good
better
health
than when
report.
it happens to you, because you're like, yes.
They get a health report, or they get a financial win or something like that. And you're like, oh my gosh, how wonderful. You announce that you're getting married. You announce that you're getting pregnant.
Are you getting married again?
I'm pregnant. And I didn't even know it was possible.
I knew it.
That's why I have this glow.
Yeah, you look good. Okay,
but,
makes sense.
But there's a joy for others when that thing happens for someone, and you just want that. And if you've ever had that moment where you missed an accident, or you had something that you want that good for everyone.
Yeah.
If you find a rebate for something, you go around telling everybody, go right now, buy this thing because there's a rebate. If this is, or you find the best meal ever and it's reasonable somewhere, or you saw the best movie ever, you want everyone to know about that good.
Exactly.
And I'm also thinking about, that's also the kind of the way that life works. There's an ebb and a flow.
Yeah, definitely.
It is waves on a beach, and both parts of the wave have a purpose. Both parts of the wave are accomplishing things, but the beach doesn't complain when the wave goes out and recedes, and the beach doesn't celebrate all the time when the wave comes in, because they're both doing things. They're both natural parts of the cycle, and they're both doing good things at the same time. And so we can't always be focused on the receding wave, on the lack, on the difficulty, on the challenge. Sometimes we also have to embrace when the wave comes in and good things happen.
Yeah.
And so...
And I think that's why we need each other.
Yeah.
Because the joy in the shared good times of someone else can lift us up out of the tough times we're having.
Yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
we share in, we bear each other's burdens, and we share each other's joys as humans.
Yeah.
And when we're in community, I would like to think that somehow, because some of us are going through good times and some are bad, that it helps elevate us all a little bit.
Yes,
it
absolutely.
helps even us out in the middle. And
our community needs that.
Yeah.
We need to know that good things are happening for other people.
Yeah. And so I would just encourage people, if you are in a good spot or a better spot, to acknowledge it in your own heart and mind, be grateful for it. When it comes up with people, say it. Yeah. And then also not to fear that, but just to take it. Yeah.
And then, to your ability, share it. I mean, in the way that's, not out of penance, not out of guilt, but because you have it. Because you have it to give. So that sharing that might mean sharing the joy, might mean sharing the energy.
If your finances are up and you've got a little extra, help more.
But, it's like, out of this wealth that freely came or whatever, I'm going to live in that kind of sense of abundance of that and give that away now because I'm free to. Yeah. And we all as humans choose to give out of our poverty. We choose to give out of our wealth at the same time. But there's something to that. And if I have something I can give someone in the way of hope now, because I've seen hope fulfilled, then I'm going to do that,
It's good stuff.
It is good stuff. So
I like it.
Look around. What season are you in? Seasons come and go. The ocean has an ebb and a flow to it. But if you're in a good season, and when you're in a good season, don't feel guilty about that. Don't run away from it. Don't wish it off.
Don't shirk it off.
Don't do penance for it. Don't do any of those things. But just simply say yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes, I acknowledge this good. Yes, I am embracing or receiving this good. Yeah. And I want to be I want to use this in the very best possible way. And then just do that.
Yeah. And then share it with other people around you.
Yeah.
It's good.
Humans, you did a good job today. We appreciate you being a part of this. We're so hopeful that if you're in the region, if you're not in one of the foreign countries that are listening to this podcast, because they do,
we
Poland
do have
and Singapore.
It sounds so cool.
Love it.
Maybe,
Germany.
Maybe we'll need to go out and meet those people.
Yeah, if we could do a Dreamers event in Germany, I'd love that.
Man, that'd be cool.
Call us over, friends. And so anyway, if you're within the driving distance of the center of the known universe here in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, then we would love to see you on March 13th at the DreamersLIVE event at the Pioneer Dream Lair.
Yes.
And then also message us. You can go to the dreamscoalition.com website and see more about us, but then also email us your email address, and we will add you to the mailing list for the Dreamer. You'll love it. It's a great little publication, digital. So
yes, and if you enjoyed this conversation and it was enlightening to you in any way, please share this. Just text a link to a friend, and you can say, hey, I'm going through a pretty good time, or I'm going through a bad time. Let's have coffee and get together and talk about it and see where you're at. And let it be a springboard. Is that the word? A springboard for a conversation.
Yeah. And as we say, there's so much good to be done out there. Let's go do it.
Let's do it.
Peace out, friends.
Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share this episode. And remember, continue this conversation with someone you know. This is Pioneer Dream.